Halloween party the day after tomorrow, so today I'm going to be making my Halloween costume for 2022. At the beginning of October, I literally had no idea what we should be for Halloween this year, and it honestly took a long time to decide on something. Normally I have like ideas like way in advance, but I had nothing this year, so I was like throwing out ideas, and I kind of wanted to do like Eddie and Chrissy from Stranger Things season 4, but I figured there was going to be so many of those running around this year that I just kind of wanted to do something different. So then Tyler came up with the idea that we should be Papa and 11 from Stranger Things, because he has all the stuff he needs to be Papa in his wardrobe already, and he figured that I could make my costume pretty easily. So today I'm going to be making the white jumpsuit that 11 wears in season 4 when she is in that float tank thing. So if you want to see how this is about to unfold, how I'm going to make this, or if maybe you're looking at making one yourself, just keep watching because we're about to begin. I generally like to be pretty resourceful when it comes to DIYing Halloween costumes because Halloween can be pretty expensive, and I like to keep things very budget friendly. So for the fabric that I'm using for the costume, I actually picked up 2 white curtains from Dollarama. They were $4 each, so the whole jumpsuit in total should cost me only about $8, and I pulled out a wig from my wig collection, honestly one that I didn't even realize I had, and it's not perfect, but I think it's good enough for Halloween and it's gonna do the trick. I also pulled out just some other things that I'm gonna need, like thread, possibly a zipper, some pins, my rotary cutter, and some bias tape. Not sure what I'm all gonna be needing yet. It's kind of one of those figure it out as I go kind of things, but this is what we have for materials. If you've seen any of my other sewing videos, costume videos, or anything like that, you'll know what I always do when it comes to sewing things is I pick out some articles of clothing that are similar to the shape of clothing that I want to make and use them to make a pattern, because I don't know how to use a real pattern. This is just what I do. So for this jumpsuit, I'm gonna look at it in 2 separate sections. So basically as if it's a pair of shorts and a top, and then we're gonna sew them together at the waist. So for the short portion, I have this pair of shorts. This does have an elastic waist. I will not be having an elastic waist on my costume, so when I trace the pattern, I'm going to have to like make sure it is stretched out to its fullest so that I get the correct measurements. And for the top, I just have this tank top here, which I think should work. It's about the same shape. Unfortunately, this is a stretchy material, and the material that I'm using to make the costume is not. So I might have to add a little bit of extra fabric just so that I can get it on without needing the fabric to stretch. So I really like to use old Christmas wrapping paper to make my pattern pieces because it's so much bigger than like a regular piece of paper. And the ones that have these grid lines on it make it so much easier to make a straight cut and a nice like even pattern. So basically, if I can get this stuff to not roll back up. So I'm basically just going to take my pair of shorts, lay it on here, and trace where the seams are. And that will give me a pattern.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, shows if I'm honest.
Now that I have my pieces all cut out, I have 2 for the shirt. I made these ones so that since both sides of this are exactly the same, I made it so that I'll just fold the fabric and do it that way. So I have the piece for the front of the shirt and the piece for the back of the shirt. I would like to note that I did make the top straps a little bit longer than what that shirt is because if you want to get like really detailed, I mean it's not really getting that detailed, but like if you want to get really technical, The straps on her shoulder actually have a curve and an overlap, so I made a little bit of extra fabric just so that I can do that. And then I also have 2 pieces for the shorts, so I'm gonna have to cut out this one twice. This is the front part, and then this one twice, because, you know, one for each butt cheek and one for each leg in the front. So it's time to lay out my curtains and see how this is gonna work. Now, I do find these curtains are kind of thin, so I'm hoping I have enough. I got 2 curtains because I kind of hoped that I would have enough to double layer it, because she's see-through. I don't know if you can really see through it, but it's pretty thin. So I'm hoping that I'll have enough to, I think I will. Honestly, these pieces are pretty small, like a lot smaller than I was honestly expecting. So I think I should have enough to double layer it, and maybe honestly only use 1 curtain, because there's a decent amount of fabric on each curtain. And if I could only use 1 curtain, that would make this a $4 Halloween costume. I'm not gonna get my hopes up where I do want to double layer it, but if I was only gonna do 1 layer, I could definitely do this with 1 curtain. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this curtain down, fold it in half, so that I can just do the double layer that way. If you wanted to be more professional about this, you probably would iron this fabric first, but I never said I was a professional, and I'm not gonna do that. I always find the pattern making to be the harder part of this process. So now comes the easier part, where I am just going to pin my pattern pieces down and cut them out. And I'm gonna try and lay them out like the best way that I can to make the most of the material that I have. Which now I'm thinking maybe folding it in half right from the start wasn't the best idea, but I'm not sure. All right, I think I'm gonna do it another way, because I don't think I can utilize the fabric the best if I do it like that. Oh geez, the floor's dirty, it's making my fabric dirty. And also, another thing, you always wanna cut your pattern on the inside of the fabric. I like to pin my pattern to the fabric so that it doesn't like move around while I'm cutting it. Especially where we do have 2 layers of fabric here. All of my pieces cut out. These are the front legs, the back of the top, and the front of the top. So I kind of want to see if I can pin everything together just to see what we're working with, because I don't really know how the top is going to match up with the shorts yet, because obviously they were not a matching set or anything, so the top and the bottom might not quite match up. So I kind of want to just pin everything together, see what we're working with, and then I might have to make a few adjustments here and there, and then I can just sew everything together. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if you've never made pants or shorts before and you're attempting to make this, really look at how the original shorts that you're basing your pattern off of, look at how they're put together, because I always get really confused when I'm trying to make pants. Basically, it's like the curved sections go together. So I would like put this next to that one and sew it, but then the straight part attaches to the other straight part. So I haven't got the sides up yet. I realize this is looking extremely questionable, and I'm a little bit worried that the crotch is going to be kind of bunchy and weird, which I really hope it's not. But here's what it's looking like so far. I knew from the start that this was not going to be a flattering costume for me, but here we are, still doing it. Fingers crossed that this is a trust the process kind of thing, because I'm a little bit scared. I decided to just kind of go ahead and start sewing things together and kind of adjust from there and see what happens. So let's do it. So I'm sewing the shorts, I'm sewing the curved part of it, of each piece, and then I will sew them together at the bottom. So as I'm sure you guys can tell, the sun has officially gone down, so the lighting is a bit strange, but just bear with me. I have the shorts done. I haven't hemmed the bottom of them yet, but that is coming. I have the top done. I did put some bias tape around the edges of these sleeves to stop them from fraying, because where they're in a circular shape, it would have been really hard to fold them in. So using some bias tape, I just put that on there, so now we don't have any fraying.
Oh, Arizona gardens in the afternoon. No matter what happens, it's me and you, baby. Nothing but time and music, and a sweet cool drink on her feet. I'll be beside you every step of the way.
Okay, this is how it looks. Come on in.
What's this? Oh, your
It's
vlog?
for my vlog.
I always believed in you, Foul Evan. That's my quote.
Tyler's the,
Papa.
yeah, Tyler's papa from...
Dr. Martin Brenner, Hawkins Laboratory.
This hair does not suit me at all. Happy Halloween!